welcome to Indie Insight. I'm your host, Dirk Norris, with the New Mexico Film Foundation. And my guest this week is Carlos Carreon from attending Santa Fe University of Art and Design film program. Welcome, Carlos.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Before we get to the university and the projects you're working on, you are a veteran. You served in Afghanistan.
That's correct. Yes, I was in Afghanistan for 15 months. I'm still currently in the reserves. So
and
I'm still
that is kind of one of the vehicles that got you to Santa Fe University of Art and Design in the film program. Tell me a little bit about how that happened.
when I was on active duty, I got out of the active duty right when I got back from Afghanistan, and I was asked what did I want to do after I got out of the military,
right.
And I didn't know. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and my lifelong passion has always been film.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told, well, won't you look into the film programs? I was like, well, can I do that? like yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Nice.
So they sent me to New York, sent me to Los Angeles, to those film programs that they had out there, and I was in awe. I was fascinated. Like, I wanted to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Santa Fe was mentioned, and they sent me to Santa Fe, and I was hooked on Santa Fe. And the program that they had there, it was superior to the programs that they had in New York and they had in Los Angeles. And it was the program for me,
Right.
The sense of community, just everything that New Mexico encompasses with film was for me. So
They've got some top-notch instructors there. Chris Ayer, director of Smoke Signals, is the director of the program, and I know they're really trying to build it up. What year are you in?
I'm in my second year,
Mm-hmm.
and Chris Ayer is an amazing guy. He's been nothing but motivating. Paula Amanda, another amazing person. I love her to death.
Right.
She just pushes you, and it's because of her and the staff there that really has inspired me to do what I'm doing now.
Right. So speaking of what you're doing now, your current project is Burning Norma Jean.
Burning Norma Jean.
And I was just really fascinated about that. So let's talk about Burning Norma Jean.
Burning Norma Jean is it's a documentary about a gentleman, Ray, who back in the heyday of Hollywood, he was a dancer. He's actually native of Santa Fe,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a dancer and was also a military veteran, and got into Hollywood. He was a dancer in a lot of musicals, did a lot of those things, and later on went on to production and working for an actual company. But in the process, he met the who's who of Hollywood. From Betty Davis, Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra, Liberace, met all these guys. And
Fred Astaire?
Fred Astaire, I'm not sure, but I think there's a possibility because he was a dancer, and he was huge in the dance community. And of course, Fred Astaire is a dancer, an amazing dancer. Yeah.
So what is the documentary about? What are you going to cover?
Well, the documentary, it's mostly about his decision on what he wants to do. Unfortunately, Ray he's suffering from a struggling hernia, and that little by little is taking his life, and he recognizes this, and he knows that he's not going to be with us for much longer. But what he has in his possessions, he has a lot of relics from Marilyn Monroe, Liberace, Betty Davis. I mean, all these stars. He has all these things, and upon his death, he's thinking about burning them as a Zobra,
Which is quite a unique way of. So, how did you meet him, and how did you develop a relationship with him?
I met him through a friend of mine, Ken Estrada. He's in music in Santa Fe, and Ray is a Mason. And he was at the Mason Temple, and he saw Ray standing there by himself. And Ken, he's just this energetic person. He likes hearing, so he archives stories.
Right.
So he saw this gentleman, he started talking, and Ray, just little by little, he started opening up about him and his past. And then Ken was just amazed by this man's story. So he said, you know what, can I archive your stories? That's what I do. I archive stories. So I invited him back to his studio, and he started archiving stories. And then Ken gives me a call. He's like, Carlos, I met probably the most amazing person ever. You need to meet this guy. And I was like, yeah, sure. He told me these things. And I was like, sounds fascinating.
Right.
And then I met him, and I met the person, and wow, I was blown away.
So what do you want people to take away from having watched this documentary?
Well, The whole Marilyn Monroe and all these things and Zozobra, that's fascinating. But when you get down to it, it's about friendship. It's about what the true value of friendship is, what it means to be a friend. You know, and it's something that it's dear to me because I've got brothers. Being from the military, you know, those are friends, those are brothers that I still talk to this day, that I care for them, you know, and vice versa. And I recognize that in his stories. So to me, the value of that, especially in this world of technology where friends are just a click away, like, is that, you know, is that friendship?
Right.
What does that mean to somebody? You know?
Yeah, we're friends on Facebook, but
Yeah.
we've never met, right?
Right? And to him, you know, he wasn't a fan of these higher profile people. He was a friend, you know?
Right.
And to me, that was the story.
Carlos, it's fascinating. I'm really looking forward to when you screen it for the first time. Let me know. I'll come for sure.
Definitely. I'd definitely love to
And
have you
thank
there.
you so much for being a guest on Indie Insight.
Hey, thank you, Dirk. I appreciate it.
Sure. You've been watching Indie Insight. Appreciate it. And now back to our movie.
Well, what have we learned? In Zinc Town, you just need a little bit of equality, maybe some plumbing, and
Just don't be an a-hole.
yeah,
Just run your mind well
yeah,
and respect people,
yeah.
and Zingtown won't suck.
Final thoughts from Alex Knight. Final thoughts from Ryan Begay.
I'm glad to see the empowerment and the community involvement. That was awesome. That would really hit home for me.
Yeah, and that was
powerful
based
scene.
on a real strike.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. Ryan, where can our viewers go if they want to find out more about you and what you do?
You can go to sovereignmindproductions.com or check out Facebook, Ryan Begay.
Are you afraid there's ever going to be a strike at your mine?
At your Sovereign Mind.
At my Sovereign Mind? Well, I hope people will hold signs and band out in front, yeah.
To
but
support it.
To support it.
All right.
Nice.
A positive strike.
Positive strike.
Positive strike.
Like a bowling strike,
Yes.
There we go.
not a baseball strike.
No.
All right.
All right. Well, that's it for today's Pulp Film Lab, where we watch Salt of the Earth. Thank you, Dirk Norris and Ryan Begay. And thank you for watching. Join us next time when we screen the awesome and awesomely bad movies that you should know about. Bye. So anyway, about that dog you were trying to tell us about.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
this
pretty
is-
fluffy.